Hello students, welcome to section 3.4, equations of lines. In this section, we'll talk about technically algebra review from last year, and at the end, I'll talk about slope a little bit. So first thing, slope-intercept form. If you recall from last year, we are talking about y equals mx plus b, okay? And m stands for slope, and b stands for y-intercept. Sometimes teachers will say b stands for initial value and m stands for rate of change. So example number 1. Write an equation in slope-intercept form of a line with slope of 3 and the y-intercept of -2. So this means m is 3 and y-intercept is -2. And then graph it. So the equation will be y equals 3x minus 2. Okay, so how do we graph this? Okay, to graph this, y-intercept is -2. So let's assume the scale is 1 by 1. Okay, so each box represents 1 unit. So you start at -2. Maybe I should use different color. So maybe this one. So start at -2 and go up 3, 1 over. Up 3, 1 over. Okay, and then try to connect the dots using try to draw a line, which is not easy. Okay, but the line will look like this. Okay, so this is y equals 3x minus 2. Now we can always check our work using desmos.com, my favorite website. So if you go to desmos.com, okay, graphing calculator, so you can type y equals 3x minus 2. And now I'm sure you're convinced that our graph looks exactly like this. Okay, so that's how you write the equation of a line in y equals mx plus b form. Okay, so our second example is write an equation in point slope form. Okay, so this is important because many people think that we're always going to talk about slope intercept form, but in this case it's point slope form. So first of all, let's review point slope form. Y minus y1 is equal to slope m x minus x1. Okay, so this will be your x1, y1, and obviously slope is -3/4. So that's your slope. So y, first of all, I didn't finish reading the question. That contains -2, 5. So it goes through an order pair -2, 5 and has a slope of -3/4. So it will be y minus 5 is equal to slope -3/4. Okay, x minus -2. Okay, so the only thing you have to do, x minus -2 will become x plus 2. So your final answer will be y minus 5 is equal to -3/4 x plus 2. Okay, so as I said, typically you are used to seeing slope intercept form y equals mx plus b, but in this case we have point slope form. Okay. All right, so next thing, write an equation of a line through the points 0, 3 and -2, -1. So first thing I suggest doing is actually making a sketch. When I say sketch, it's not going to be perfect, but -2, -1 is here, and 0, 3 is here. So your line will look like this. Okay, so automatically you know the slope is positive, okay, because line goes up, and you already know that it will go through 0, 3, so that means that the y-intercept is 3. So how do you do this? First step, so step 1, find slope. So slope equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so in mathematics, typically this is x1, y1, this is x2, y2. So m will be -1 minus 3 over -2 minus 0. Now, if you simplify this, -1 minus 3 is -4. -2 minus 0 is -2. So if you divide negative over negative, slope is +2. Now, in this case, you don't have to do any work to find b, because b is equal to +3. But if this wasn't 0, 3, this is, for example, 5, 3, you would have to do extra step. Okay, but in this case, your answer would be y equals 2x plus 3. Why your y-intercept is equal to 3? Because y-intercept is always when x is 0. Okay, so your final answer is y equals 2x plus 3. Okay, so next thing, horizontal and vertical lines. Okay, there are 4 cases in mathematics. Okay, slope is positive, line goes up. Slope is negative, line goes down. Okay, but sometimes the line could be horizontal. Horizontal line is obviously like this, and the equation for this one, for example, could be y equals 3, assuming this is 1, 2, 3. But what's important to remember, horizontal line is always y equals something. In other words, y equals 0x plus 3. You can always think about this, y equals 0x plus 3. So your y-intercept is +3 and slope is 0. That's why the line is horizontal. Now the vertical line is always tricky. Okay, so vertical line would be like that, and I'm going to put a dotted line because in algebra 2 it's a vertical asymptote, and the equation will be x equals, for example, 3, assuming this is 1, 2, 3. So what you have to remember is horizontal line is always y equals, vertical line is always x equals. Now let's check Desmos. So if, for example, I type y equals 3, do you see I got a horizontal line, goes through 0, 3. But if I type x equals 3, I will get a vertical line. Check it. See? Now you get x equals 3. Okay. Okay, and next question for today. Oh, I went too fast. Let's scroll down. The next question for today is write an equation in slope-intercept form of a line perpendicular to -3x plus 2 containing 4, 0. Okay, so first thing, if two lines are parallel, that means same slope. Okay, maybe I should review this on the site over here so you can remember this. So parallel lines, same slope. Perpendicular lines, I'm going to use abbreviation, means opposite reciprocals. What does that mean? If one slope is 1/2, the opposite reciprocal will be -2/1. If slope is 3/4, the perpendicular line will have a slope of negative 4/3. Okay, so here, okay, this is how you start this. This slope is -3. Okay, so if m is equal to -3, what will be the slope of the perpendicular line? In other words, what is the opposite reciprocal of -3? What is the opposite reciprocal of -3? Okay, so you can always think about -3/1. So flip it and change the sign. So the slope would be 1/3. Okay, now it passes through 4 comma 0. So this is x, this is y. Do not confuse this. This is actually x-intercept, not y-intercept, because some people think that b is equal to 4. If this was 0 comma 4, then your y-intercept will be 4. But in this case, it's 4 comma 0. So we have to do our steps. Y equals mx plus b. So our job is to find b. So for y, you will put 0 equals 1/3 times x, which is 4, plus b. Okay. Now, if you finish this, you get 0 equals 1/3 times 4 is 4/3 plus b. And to get b by itself, you subtract 4/3 from both sides. So -4/3 is equal to b. Okay. So your equation would be y equals 1/3 x minus 4/3. Okay, and we will use Desmos and we'll type both equations and you will see they are perpendicular. Okay, so one equation is, what is the original one? Let me double check it. The original one was -3x plus 2. -3x plus 2. Oh, that's not what I want. Y equals -3x plus 2. Okay, and the one that we found was y equals, actually it was -3x, I forgot the negative. The one we found was 1/3 x minus 4/3. Okay, so now look at this. Are the two lines perpendicular? It's obvious they are. And is our new line going through 4 comma 0? Yes, it is. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. Again, this video you will take notes and then you will complete some work. Okay, and then in class we'll do more examples. So have a good day and thank you.